The public and citizens have seen all these tax scandals, so there's a very large pressure for change.
The combination of 28 over-complex tax regimes and tax laws in the member states creating loopholes which are used and sometimes abused by companies, mainly international multinational companies. To stop that, we need a binding EU framework with an automatic information exchange, with a common consolidated corporate tax base, and with an exit perspective.
We've been going through a tremendous improvement in terms of tax transparency over the last 2 years in the European Union, going through the adoption of major initiatives on tax transparency for multinationals, on tax transparencies for individual bank account information, on exchange of tax ruling, those sweetheart deals that a member state could do with a company to lessen their tax bill. What we want to build for the future, which is a fairer tax system that will come in forthcoming proposal of the Commission through a new single corporate tax system for European businesses.
The EU and Switzerland and the OECD have said that now we have automatic exchange of information between tax administrations, but this is actually not true. They are all exchanging information with each other, the rich countries. But the poor countries are not allowed to get any information. So if you are a tax administrator in a poor country, you have just as big a problem as before. People can hide their money in foreign bank accounts. The countries that are supporting transparency are at the moment also the ones that have the least to hide. So we need to make sure that there are no tax havens that just continue business as usual, because then we're not making any progress.
Financial centers should lead by example. And this is what Switzerland is committed to, not only in the discussion on the standards, but also in the implementation with the various partners. The first challenge is, of course, the technicalities, just to make sure that we put enough means in implementing the standards. And the second challenge is the various reviews that will have to take place to ensure that all relevant partners play by the rules.
Switzerland is also part of the global exercise of implementing some of these actions, and it will implement the mandatory standards of BEPS. But what we would like to see is that other jurisdictions, certainly developed countries, but we hope also developing countries, will follow this initiative. And here we think that there should be no deviation in the EU and elsewhere in the world from the global standards, certainly as regards BEPS, because we need to ensure there is a level playing field.
We want to strengthen the role of whistleblowers. We have the feeling that whistleblowers are not protected enough, and from that point of view we suggested a solution like in the United States, where the protection of whistleblowers is much far more reaching than in the European Union.